let's get to the queue system. So this is something that's been around, but it's had some modifications and it's had a complete overhaul and rewrite. It used to be sit across pages on the back end, and now everything's just on page 5 in the back end, which makes it much easier to just sort of, understand what is going on in it. But it's basically a run of show of 24 queues to help you reduce cognitive load during live operation. This is how I run my show, and this is what, for me, makes live streaming fun, because I can focus more on the content of what I'm trying to create, and I don't have to think so much about having to get all of the technical aspects of something correct in the moment, because I can pre-build that and just execute it sequentially. So this is the list. It says list at the moment. I'm gonna jump back over to here, and I'm gonna switch back over to queue. So on the first page is where you'll see either queue mode or list mode. Queue mode is running locally on Companion. List is engaging Google Sheets, which we'll get to in 1 second. That's how I'm running the show today. So I'm just disengaging Google Sheets and I'm running in queue mode. And then I've got 3 sets of queues that I can alternate between. And it's going to be I'm on set 2 at the moment. So now when I go in, now when I go into queue, you can see that these are the queues that I have. There's a forwards and backwards up here, so I can change what is next highlighted. And where are we? I was up to here, I think. And then this button on the end is going, when you press it, it will execute it and advance to the next queue. So this is where you can have a single button. Actually, this is where I just have, this is how I run my show, is like, this is my advance button. And then I have one other button, which I'm cutting to this shot. And that's basically pulled from my scene page. You'll see that's basically I've taken these 2 buttons and I've put them as a sort of remote control on the browser, which is something that you can do as well. And I'd recommend, it's a really nice way of just being able to advance the show. So that's my little remote that I have here on the side, which is how I'm actually running the show. And so we've got 24 queues, 8, 16, 24. And I've built in under these, and you'll have to build your own, like your first look, so you'll be pre-show, get the cameras in a certain position, turn off the microphones, get everything set for when you want to start the encoder. And then the second one would be show going live. And then I've got 2 parts, my ATEM and my core, and then my goodbye and wrap and other functions down here just to like stop everything. So you can build your own run of show in here and then just execute it by advancing through the queues here. Now, if we go, let me go back to, just turn back on list mode. So I'm actually running on the right section. You'll see this changed and this updated here to show me that I'm running in list mode. Now, what I'm running, and I'll press this one, as me advancing the show. So the list system, this is a Google Sheets integration, which is sort of built into the queue system that I just showed you. But this is an external list of queues and metadata that you can bring into the show, and then also Google Sheets, you can log it as well. And this is driving the show flow. And so what this looks like is, let's go to Google Sheets. Basically, once you've connected Google Sheets, it's just any spreadsheet. I've just formatted it a bit, but it's just columns A, B, C, D. Column A is these titles. So this is the show that we've been working through. We're up to here, utilities layer. So this is the header. This is the body content. This is a space for, that will pull in links. So, and it will insert it into the YouTube description and also into chat if we're doing that. So it means that when I come to a section of the show, I can actually like promote something with a link and it's in there already. And then column D here is either blank or a number between 1 and 24. And if it's blank, then it's not going to fire the queues. And if it has a number, then it's going to fire that queue number. So the last one I just did was queue number 4, and you'll see here 1, 2, 3, 4, which was this button here. So part 2, and this had, under this queue, it had some lighting changes in the background. It had a camera change, upstream key changed, and the camera input changed. So all of that happened under this queue, and it was executed by this number here saying, hey, I want to run Q4. So that's how I run my show now. And what's really a time saver about this is when I'm planning a show, it means I don't have to be like in the studio building things. I can just be at home with a laptop and just, or even in a notes app, just like jotting down what I want to cover in a show. And then I can paste it into a Google spreadsheet, or I can just build it in a spreadsheet. And so it's basically topics and content. And then I can bring that up visually. All of this text is what you've been seeing brought onto the screen. So that is that's how I run my show, and it makes it much easier to get through content without needing auto cue or any of that kind of stuff, and just have that show structure in place.